Hello, welcome to another video by Teaching Tube. Our today's topic include digestion in human body. As we all know that our cell require oxygen, water, salts, amino acids, simple sugars, fatty acids and vitamins. These all can cross cell membranes to enter cells. Such substances are usually parts of larger molecules like protein, polysaccharides and lipids, which cannot cross the membranes. So there is a need of converting such large and non-diffusible molecules into smaller and diffusible molecules. This is achieved through the process of digestion. So in simple words, the nutrition in human comprises of the following 5 phases. So first one is ingestion, which is the process of taking in food. The second one is digestion, which involves the process of breaking up complex substances into simpler substances. Third one is absorption, which is diffusion of digested food into blood. Next one is assimilation, which is actually the conversion of absorbed simple food into the complex substances constituting the body. And the last one is defecation, which involves elimination of undigested food from the body. The digestive system of human consists of a long tube that extends from mouth to anus. This tube is called alimentary canal. Its main sections are oral cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine and large intestine. We will go through the structure and functioning of digestive system by assuming how a bite of bread or roti taken with some dish like mutton is digested and how small molecules are provided to cells. Now we will start with the oral cavity, which involves selection, grinding and partial digestion of food. Oral cavity is the space behind mouth and has many important functions in the whole process of digestion. Food selection is also one of them. When food enters oral cavity, it is tasted and felt. If the taste of mutton or any food suggests that it is old, we reject it. Or if teeth or tongue detect some hard object such as dirt, we also reject that bite. Now the second function of oral cavity is the grinding of food by teeth. It is known as chewing or mastication. This is useful because esophagus can pass only small pieces. Enzymes also cannot act on large pieces of food. The third and fourth function of oral cavity are lubrication and chemical digestion of food. The chewing process stimulates the 3 pairs of salivary glands to release a juice called saliva in oral cavity. Saliva adds water and mucus to food, which act as a lubricant to ease the passage of food through esophagus. Saliva also contains an enzyme, salivary amylase, which helps in the semi-digestion of starch. Now, during the process of chewing, lubrication and semi-digestion, the pieces of food are rolled up by the tongue into small, slippery, spherical mass called bolus. We swallow bolus and push it in the esophagus through pharynx. Now, the next part includes pharynx and esophagus, where swallowing and peristalsis happens. During swallowing, bolus is pushed to the back of mouth by tongue. When tongue pushes bolus, the soft palate also moves upward and to the rear. In this way, the opening of nasal cavity is closed. When swallowed, the bolus passes pharynx to enter esophagus. Pharynx also have adaptations to prevent the entry of bolus particles in trachea, which is windpipe, to lungs. During swallowing, larynx, which is the top of trachea, moves upward and forces the epiglottis, which is a flap of cartilage, into a horizontal position. Thus, glottis, that is the opening of trachea, is closed. Now, after being swallowed, food enters the tube called esophagus. What is peristalsis? Peristalsis moves food from oral cavity to rectum. Peristalsis is defined as the waves of contraction and relaxation in the smooth muscles of alimentary canal walls, which pushes the food downwards. Now here comes stomach, where digestion, churning and melting happens. Stomach is a dilated part of alimentary canal. Stomach has 2 main portions. Cardiac portion of stomach is present immediately after esophagus, and pyloric portion is located beneath cardiac portion. Stomach also have 2 openings which are guarded by muscles. These openings are known as cardiac sphincter and pyloric sphincter. When food enters stomach, the gastric glands found in the stomach wall are stimulated to secrete gastric juice. Gastric juice is composed chiefly of mucus, hydrochloric acid, and a protein digesting enzyme known as pepsinogen. Hydrochloric acid also kills microorganisms present in food. Pepsin partially digests the protein portion of food. In stomach, food is further broken apart through a process of churning. The walls of stomach contract and relax, and these movements help in thorough mixing of gastric juice and food. The churning action also produces heat, which helps to melt the lipid content of food. The starch in a bite of bread and the protein in mutton have been partially digested, and the food has been converted to a soup-like mixture called chyme. After it, the pyloric sphincter allows a little mass of chyme to enter duodenum. Small intestine, where complete digestion and absorption happens. Duodenum comprises of the first 10 inches of small intestine, and it is the part of the alimentary canal where most of the digestive process occurs. Here food is further mixed with 3 different secretions: bile from liver, which helps in the digestion of lipids; pancreatic juice from pancreas contain enzyme trypsin, pancreatic amylase and lipase, which digest protein, carbohydrates and lipids respectively. And then the third one is intestinal juice from intestine walls, contain many enzymes for the complete digestion of all kinds of food. Next to the duodenum is 2.4 meters long jejunum. It is concerned with the rest of the digestion of proteins, carbohydrates and lipids of our bite. And last 3.5 meters long part of the small intestine is ileum. It is concerned with the absorption of digested food. There are circular folds in the inner walls of ileum. These folds have numerous finger-like projections called villi. Villi increase the surface area of the inner walls, and it helps a lot in the absorption of digested food. Each villus is richly supplied with the blood capillaries and a vessel of lymphatic system called lacteal. The digestive molecules, that is simple sugars and amino acids, are absorbed from the intestine into the blood capillaries present in belly. Blood carries them away from small intestine via the hepatic portal vein and goes to the liver for filtering, where toxins are removed and extra food is stored. After the digested products of our bite have been absorbed in blood, the remaining mass enters large intestine. Here water is absorbed into blood. As water is absorbed, the solid remains of the food are called feces. Feces mainly consist of the undigested material. Large number of bacteria, bile pigments and water are also part of feces. Feces are temporarily stored in rectum, which opens out through anus. This is all about today's topic. I hope it was of some help for you all. For more videos, don't forget to subscribe my channel. Your support really matters. Bye. See you then.